Frederick, of course, in the jungle from Giants.
So, both games, Zayu has had his Lee Sin available, hasn't chosen to pick it. I think they need to bring it out. If Reason are available to get it, and actually this is another adjustment that they very much so should have made.
Yeah, so we do have the Irelia being banned out again, but here we go, finally from Reason Gaming, they take away the Pantheon.
Yeah, that has been a massive factor in getting Pepinero ahead. And from this situation, we have to see what Frederick is going to go to next. You have to feel like Lee Sin is going to be highly contested now. He is the top-tier jungler that's remaining, and there is a lot open here.
Yeah, so 2 quick-fire bans coming out. Lissandra will be the final ban from Giants, and a quick first lock-in from LeBlanc. Syndra was the last ban as well.
Yeah, game 3 here, where Reason have got the opportunity to pick Gnar. It hasn't worked out in either game, but it hasn't been exactly the factor here. Game 1 didn't do so well. Game 2 was a lot better out of Kuban and still has the strengths that it will always have. First pick here by Whirly B is, as you said, you mentioned it already, LeBlanc has been picked again and again in these games, has been so strong.
Yeah, it's a good pick, not only for Pepinero, but it takes it away from Take Fun as well at the same time. So, again, hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, Giants are going to be happy with that pick coming in here, and you have to feel like in terms of the champion select, 1 champion in, they're looking okay.
Yeah, Zayu, he's a Lee Sin player, and this is going to sound a lot like a broken record.
Yeah.
He's known for it, and okay, that's something that's a little bit different.
Alright, so we have Kuban taking away the Jax here from Whirly B, and he'll be taking that himself here, and then they also follow up with the Fresh. In response, Giants take away the Elise, but absolutely, I mean, they said it on the analyst desk, we'll say it again here, Lee Sin, Zayu, it's your main champion, and he's open.
It's not even that, it's the fact that you're basically blind picking Jax into a top lane. This may indicate that Zayu's got something else up his sleeve. I know Zayu has been working on a lot of top laners in the jungle role. I hate to make kind of these sort of predictions because it could just be Jax top lane, but Jax has been a champion that you haven't been able to safe pick in the top lane. We've seen the resurgence of Renekton. We see a lot of AP top laners as well, which obviously Jax doesn't exactly have the best time of in the laning phase. So there is a lot of questions right now out of the Reason Gaming camp.
Well, we just have a couple seconds to see if your gut feeling rings true here, Stress, because we do have that next pickup from Giants. It will be that Alistair, and that will be going in their bot lane here. So now Reason Gaming have all of the time in the world, well, 50 seconds of that time to choose what they want here.
Yeah, it's not that... yeah, it's just enough to get picks and bans. Yeah. Alistair, once again, as a champion making his, well, rearing his head in this game, this time on the side of Giants, and there's still questions to be made here because we've seen it before when teams pick their jungler last. Is there something tricky? Is there something different, or is Zayu just going Lee Sin?
We'll see. But we do have the next 2 pickups here. It will be those 2 picks of Orianna in the mid lane, and then Graves again for Saliver in the bottom lane AD carry.
Yeah, indeed. And Graves has been kind of working out for Saliver. He's always got a lead in the laning phase, but it just hasn't been enough really for Reason to shut the game out. So can Saliver have more of an impact in this game? Again, you have to feel but this time with Thresh being on the side of Reason Gaming, that's a lot more kill potential for whoever they bring down to that bottom lane for Saliver and Libic.
Right, so far we've not seen anything crazy coming out here, Stress. It's just been, pretty much the same champions, apart from the Kuban, of course, in the top lane, taking away the Jax this time around.
Yeah.
But we're now hovering over a potential Ezreal pick, and we have seen this being played. We have seen Adri play it as well, and hello, Renekton finding himself and rearing his head in this game.
Is this a bait, though? Is this the expected Renekton answer to a potential weird Zayu changing everything up again? Because if you pick Jax in the top lane, on the current meta, you have to expect Renekton. It's been played in OGN, it's been played, I believe, in North American expansion as well. It's known that Renekton is back, and it's very known that Renekton into Jax is a good lane for the first 20 to 30 minutes of the game. What do Reason have up their sleeve?
Well, we only have 29 seconds to see what it's going to be. Please don't be boring. But if we see this, this is his main jungler coming out here, and this is exactly what he needs. Remember back to the group stages as well. In fact, the online rounds, they were actually taking Zayu off his main jungler of Lee Sin in multiple games, and then they gave it to him, and then they just crushed. So it looks like that's what they're doing once again. It's like, okay, take your main jungler here. And it will be locked in. Okay, so, here we go. Full lineups.
So the other option that Reason have here with this Jax matchup is if they go for some kind of a lane swap, something like that, they can get Jax potentially through the early game and into a later phase where Renekton's prevalence isn't quite as well felt. So that's something that we have to kind of watch out for Reason. I'm very surprised you'd first pick Jax. I mean, he's strong, he's had extra buffs, but his laning phase is known to be tricky. But heading into this game, let's take a look at the team compositions just in general. There's a fair amount of late game on Reason when you take Graves and Lee out of the question. They have the Orianna, they have Jax, they've got Thresh, who's always good at catching. Over on the other side, we didn't touch on it too much about Ezreal and Alistar, but that's a fair amount of engage at that level 6 mark out of Giants in the bottom lane.
It is indeed. But Reason Gaming, now with Zayu, have that Lee Sin coming in here. Of course, last time we saw him play that, it was with Gnar, I believe, and we had that big game-winning team fight where Gnar hits the ultimate on multiple members, the Lee Sin kick as well. Won't be the case this time, but I'm interested to see how Reason Gaming deal with their new picks, because we saw the split push Jax in the last game, but can Kubon replicate that success from Whirly B?
That is a good question. And can Reason pretty much set the lanes up for how they want it? Because, as I said, you have to feel like they knew the Renekton was coming.
And take a look at Reason right now. Those are some grim-looking faces as they are one game away from taking or getting out of this series. So now we are into this game. Giants now swapping up onto the blue side, just like game one, and they just need one game here, just one, to take this series and head into the grand finals here at the LCS expansion tournament.
Yes, indeed. We're on to the Rift, and you can send us your thoughts at LOL Esports, hashtag LCS expansion. Let us know, do you think this is curtains for Reason in this round, or can they make it back? Can they do the unthinkable and bounce back? That is the question.
Well, Giants again with this early game aggression, rocking out the Ezreal this time around with the Alistar in the bottom lane. Livic puts a ward over the wall. That's a little bit close to the wire.
So, previous game has been... Well, previous game we saw that flash. We saw the flash out of Take Fun, pretty much set the game off exactly as Giants wanted it to. Doesn't really look like we're going to have too much in the way of any kind of aggression level 1 here. But there is a lot on the line in this game. This is game potentially 3 for Giants, and another invade on blue side. They get the wards down, and it costs them really nothing.
And they will just move around here, place down all that early game vision is all they're looking for here. Celeber as well hanging around in the river. We'll see if the bot lanes decide to interact, because most likely they'll be trying to take away a camp. Rydell takes some damage from Celeber, being pushed back to his side of the jungle. Death Sentence as well will allow even more damage down. He'll have to chuck through a health potion and has to take the heal at level 1 as well.
That is a tough start for Giants in this bottom lane, and it's what our analyst desk was talking. Reason Gaming have to get Celeber more and more involved in this game, and any kind of lead they can get him in the laning phase is going to go down well. But it's all about those hooks in the bottom lane. If they can land them in this Ezreal matchup, that is the big question, and they did just land one actually.
So Kubon has decided now to take a camp as well. He's learned from Whirly B's tactics. He knew what he did in game 1 and game 2, and will be doing the same in this game. It means he'll be a little late to the top lane, but should help weather the storm in the early game.
Yeah, he's also opted for the Flask again, just looking to get through into the mid and late game, and he's going to have a tough time. He's up against Renekton, who is known to be a lane bully and has been seeing a little bit more play through OGN. Does, however, have less impact in the late game. That is one thing that Reason will have on their side this time. It's kind of converse to how Giants have been playing with that later game, but level 2 in the bottom lane.
Yep, looking for the hook. Doesn't quite hit Adri, just a centimeter away from landing that one. And they will just return to laning, but take a look at this advantage already in the bottom lane. 11 CS to 5 will be the advantage for Adri. Top lane though, Kubon and Whirly B finally meeting each other there, and both level 2, so he did have that early game getting that from the jungle.
And from the jungle, is Zayu going to head top, or is he going to head back? I was going to say, he could look to maybe try and get something from Whirly B right now, but Also just hanging around in case of a counter. But
yeah, he was fairly on health as well, so he'll choose to go back to base here and pick up his red trinket, and he just put down that warding totem, so gets the maximum effect from that, and has picked up his Stalker's Blade. So nothing really out of the ordinary, nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy out of the side of Giants either. This is what we were expecting, a jungle and mid pick that can get a kill very early on in the game, and they're going for this play again. Can they read it?
Oh, this time the flash and the cocoon goes wide. Take Fun gets a great flash out of the way, tags him here with the volatile spiraling, but Zayu will be chasing him out of his jungle, and this time it goes on to his blue buff.
Flash for flash in that middle lane. The question is, will they get back into the lane to make use of that flash not being available? Take Fun this time on a far less aggressive champion. There's something we didn't really touch about too much in Champion Select. Orianna is much more of a passive, much more farm-oriented champion than his other picks we've seen in Game 1 and 2. So this is a complete change of style for Reason Gaming, and perhaps it's what they need here.
Yeah, maybe they just need to take it just slower, because in the first game, yes, they had the advances. Second game, they just kind of lost from the start of the game. Zayu here is hovering around, but that is warded by Pepinero, so he will be spotted out. That does mean that Frederick is lying in wait for his counter gank, but bottom lane, here comes the Pulverize, here comes the down from Adri as well. Arcane shifts away.
So talking about those mid lane ganks, or ganks in general just on this patch as Zayu heads to the bottom lane, if you want the Razor Sharp buff to clear wards, you have to pre-prepare ganks, and this is a lot more of an unorthodox timing out of Zayu.
Has to force the flash from Rydell. He has to go back to his AD carry, so they burn the summoner, successful gank.
Yeah, you've got to set up the gank ahead of time, because now that you don't just go Rangers and have the reduced cooldown on Smite, you can't just go, I'll Smite it and head back into lane. Zayu wants to get into this bottom lane.
Rydell pushes out once again, knowing Lee Sin was in the bottom lane, but Frederick from the top side will be pushing him away. Gets the Safeguard back to his support, doesn't need to take the Lantern.
Yeah, Safeguard will do the same job for now. Alistair, just a little too big sitting on top of that Lantern.
Yeah.
But, question is, or for Giants, what can Giants do right now in this setup? Ezreal against Graves in the bottom lane. Both of these bottom lane matchups are fairly hard to kill when you look at it, but level 6, there is a lot of engage potential out of Giants. They're going to have the True Shot Barrage and a lot of damage soaking out of Rydell too.
The Rift Scuttler will be taken here away from Zayu. But take a look at that mid lane though. Again, it's only 5 minutes in, encroaching on the 6-minute mark, and Pepinero is almost 10 CS ahead. He's just leading the laning phase with pretty much no jungler intervention, and he's just straight up winning. This is what happened in Game 2, and Take Fun just isn't turning up in these subsequent games.
Yeah, he's been a little bit lackluster. And honestly, we're expecting more out of Take Fun. Take Fun and Zayu, we talked about how they are the kind of the new blood here, and Kubon is one of the more experienced players, and he's getting bullied around. So if that's happening to the experienced players, you've got a lot riding on some less experienced mid and jungle players here.
So Rydell taking a trip away from the bottom lane. Libic as well is going for this field trip, and we'll have the supports fighting over the wards here. It will be Rydell coming out ahead, but here comes the Lantern, and Libic trying to get this one, but Pepinero roams away, and he will be stopping him from taking that. So Vision secured by Rydell the cow.
Yeah, Vision has been secured, but at the moment, Frederick isn't in Vision. Up in this top lane, they know he crossed over a ward though, so Zayu is already around for the counter gank. And he's not going to be needed.
Doesn't land the cocoon. That signals everyone is going to be backing away. Zayu, of course, was there, but he'll just clear out his minions in the jungle as well. Bottom lane, Libic coming in to gank. Adri looks for the death sentence, but Adri will be duking out of the way of it with the Arcane Shift.
Wasn't really on in that bottom lane. They were looking for it, but Ezreal is quite difficult to lock down. However, Frederick is looking for a jungle invade. Zayu is going to check what's up here, and he's going to force him away for now.
Yeah, he connects the Sonic Wave, doesn't decide to go all in, and Frederick is still trying for more. He's still trying to take away this red buff. Pepinero from the bot side will be trying to zone away Zayu, level 7 to level 4, and face plants the wall.
Pepinero is able to do this because of how he's shoving Take Fun in before level 6, but here's level 6 in the bottom lane.
Yeah, collateral damage just kind of used for harass, I guess, onto Adri. He will take a trip back to base regardless, but that's a big cooldown down for Celiva.
It is. A lot of cooldowns actually used in general. The True Shot Barrage was used as well. But back into that middle lane, Take Fun has been shoved in so much that Pepinero not only has a CS lead, but he's also been able to get deeper wards into the Jungle of Reason. You can see already on the red camp, there's a pink ward down there as well. And Giants, from that pressure, have been able to set up vision control, and it's one of the problems that Reason are having, that Crepo was talking about, is they need more vision control in this game, and Reason as yet have not been setting that up in Game 3 of this series.
So let's take a step back. Looking at the items here, Adri has gone back to base, picked up his first 2 items. In fact, Frederick is flashing up red. In fact, he's just trying to fight the Merc Wall. But in the top lane, though, Kuban's trying to fight Whirly B. Here comes Libic with the Flay backwards, and the Dominus is up, but the hook goes wide. They will not be picking up this kill.
It's difficult to hit Killer Renekton at level 6 as it is, but that just was a little bit of a misplay there out of Libic. That should have been a kill.
Yeah. Oh, Willie B comes forwards and Kuban has to flash away. The flash basically used at the same time, but yeah, Libic just threw out the hook at a 90-degree angle.
So we've got some developments down in bottom lane with regards to itemization. The Tear of the Goddess and the Sheen picked up on Ezreal. We're going to see that blue build Ezreal that has been coming back into force. So he's going to likely opt for that, obviously Manamune, and then the Frozen, I want to say Frozen Fist, Iceborne Gauntlet.
Yes.
That is the actual name. Over on the other side, fairly standard. We're seeing this Graves build again, BF Sword into Brutalizer, and we've seen the Ghost Blade twice. Analyst Test hasn't been fans of the Ghost Blade build. It seems good when you're ahead, they've been talking about, but bottom lane, Adri, there's the Chilling Smite.
Chilling Smite lands the Q as well, looks for the insect, but the jump away from Adri means he will not be able to connect that one. And then has to back off. Frederick now comes in for the counter gank. Zayo's a little low, but he makes sure he'll be heading back the right way.
You can see how difficult as it is to kill Ezreal. And right now, when he gets the blue build later on, he's going to reduce the mobility of the enemies. Oh, here comes the Lantern Gang potentially.
Libic connects the hook, and First Blood goes to Zayu. But it's not over yet as Take Fun comes into the bottom lane. 4 of them now here, and Pepinero trying to find his way into this fight, with Whirly B turning up as well to teleport. Yeah,
Whirly B teleported in, and actually it's cut Reason away from the dragon that they were looking to take at the tail end of that fight. And this is the pressure bottom lane that Reason needed, and Zayu kind of teasing all of us there with that Q landing. But this is the change they needed to make. Reason got a little bit more focused down on that bottom lane. They're starting to get those picks working in the bottom lane. They have to continue doing this, and Kuban, all the meanwhile, has been pushing top lane as well. So Reason, this is a much bigger change. This is what they needed.
Kuban slamming away at this turret. Frederick in the top lane will be able to push him away and stop the push coming in. Jax, this time on Kuban, seems to be working out well. He is ahead in farm, but Pepinero coming in from the backside, trying to get this down. Did land the Chilling Smite, and Pepinero was still here, and Kuban backs away. So, unsuccessful gank, and will also utilize the Smite as well on that.
Yeah, he will, and that's the double-edged sword here. Did they get enough for using that Smite? And will that now affect the jungling, as Smite is not available? Let's take a quick look at itemization here. Once again, top lane, Kuban, or for this game, is going Blade of the Ruined King first. And actually, top lane, Zayu is heading into the lane. Whirly B
connects the cripple, connects the Tempest as well, but takes so much damage from Whirly B with that Tiamat.
Yeah, and that Tiamat is a big part of Renekton's kit right now. You go Tiamat, leave it at that, and build into tank stats. It also allows you to animation cancel after your stunts. You get a lot more damage out, and Zayu is playing a very dangerous game here because Frederick and Pepinero are here.
And Kuban is completely trapped here. He will use the counter-strike. Chilling Smite comes down. Here comes the combo as well. Lands the Cocoon. That's a dead Kuban. As the distortion comes out, Pepinero finds his first kill of the game.
He does indeed, and that is a good play for Giants now. Now they're pushing onto an inner turret as well, and it's only Zayu here as Take Fun starts to join him. But bottom lane, the hook does land.
Onto Rydell. He'll be dragged in here with the Flay. Still has his ultimate though, just in case he needs it. But top lane, the action is still going. Zayu, again, just trying to play the mind games with the Q and the safeguard.
Pepinero's out of mana, though, because he's been a little bit greedy, and I say a little greedy. He's currently at 2,600 gold right now. You can see Athene's Unholy Grail already picked up on Orianna, so that's giving her the mana back. Pepinero has not had that time to go back. He's ahead in CS because of it, but it means that in situations like that, they just don't have the damage.
And he's 8,000 gold, 800 gold ahead of his counterpart. It was 8,000 at this stage, and the game would pretty much be done. But
yeah.
Pepinero will go back to base, and fairly soon, he's still in the mid lane.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he's going aggressive.
He is, and we'll be losing that to clear out the minion wave. The Duke as well of the distortion pops back, and the distortion completely goes wide.
And this is a LeBlanc that is behind item-wise against the Orianna, and he's still bullying her around. And I feel like Pepinero has to head back, though. Has to get something like a Morellonomicon. There you go. It does, in fact, get picked up. Yep. That was what he needed, because it was getting a little too precarious, a little too low on mana. He will need to pick up blue as well to go with that, because it doesn't quite have the mana regeneration that Athene's has right now.
Indeed. So, top lane, though, Kuban and Zayu waiting in the wings. Whirly B will be checking the bush with a ward. Connects the Q, connects the counter-strike as well. Keeps up with the sustained damage from the relentless assault. Whirly B uses his flash and the dominance to get away.
And the difference between these top laners on itemization is now with a chain vest, it is very difficult for Whirlybee to die as long as Dominus is available, whereas the Blade of the Ruined King on the other side is a very squishy Jack, so they have to be careful. That's a hook landing.
On to Adri. Celeber was in the bottom side, but they saw Frederick, so it wasn't the trade they wanted right now. Pepinero will be comboing in onto Take Fun. He is getting the leash down with the Chilling Smite as well, and the cavalry has arrived. Rydal is looking for this kill. Pepinero, though, trying to take down the clone. That's the wrong one, but they will kick them away. Take Fun gets out alive, and so does Pepinero. Both mid laners so low.
Oh man, Take Fun barely able to survive, but this isn't over. Libic is looking for a hook here, potentially. Does turn around though, because I think the focus has swapped over to Dragon. It was already started by Celeber as they set that up, and now there is no answer from Giants here. They're going to push middle instead. That's Dragon 1 of the game going down. They should get this turret in response.
They should indeed. And again, this is a fairly late Dragon as the middle turret falls, as you mentioned. 15 minutes into the game, these teams are not super Dragon focused in the early game at least. And now we do have a contest from Giants who are trying to get at this blue buff. Frederick does like to contest the opposing buffs as much as he can. This time, maybe better just to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, Whirly B.
Oh, Kuban going up against Whirly B, and the red buff is chiming in. But Pepinero from the mid lane takes down Kuban, and the red buff will be going over to Whirly B.
I mean, Kuban right now with the Blade of the Ruined King only is very squishy. He's not able to fight in that kind of situation. Whirly B, again, Chain Vest is going to save his life fairly handily. And that was just, again, Pepinero, right place, right time, helps to get the kill.
So, in comparison to the first two games, look at this game. 3 kills in total in 16 minutes.
Yeah.
And the objectives as well, you can see a couple more have gone down in the early game. This is a lot more relaxed than it has been in the first couple of games. Both teams are playing this conservatively.
Yeah, it's a lot slower a game than we've seen. And honestly, it's a lot down to the fact that Orianna's been shoved in so much, so the ganks have been very difficult for Frederick to actually get off. He tried it. We saw that attempted gank in the middle lane where they traded flash for flash, but from there, Orianna's fairly difficult to gank. She has shockwave. You can't really get in there, and that slowed the pace of the game down. And that benefits Reason in this situation. They are behind, but at the same time, they've got a Jax, they've got an Orianna, and I believe they picked up the first dragon. Yes, they did. So if they can get a second dragon, or another couple, and last this game out, Reason have the far better late game situation.
Yeah, and talking about late game, Kuban has his first big item already, the Blades of the Ruined King. Libic connects the hook in the bottom lane, and that will be Graves coming in as well. Doesn't land the bookshot and won't get the rest of it. That's a big ultimate burn by Libic, but Adri did have to use his flash. Pepinero will be juking out of the way.
Yeah, even laughs just to rub salt in the wounds a little bit more. But you can see how difficult it is to lock down Ezreal once he's got everything up. But another hook has landed.
Oh, but the two-shot barrage comes in anyway. Frederick is coming into the fight, but he's bleeding out from the ignite. That's the kill going down to Libic. But in the top lane, take a look at Whirly B because he's dropping low. Zayu will be the one to turn around, but he connects the Sonic Wave. Kuban is taking a lot of damage as well, but the counter-strike will be turning that away.
Oh, here's Peppy.
Oh, tries to recall, but Pepinero comes into the top lane, tries to get the assassination down, lands the Sigil of Malice, can't get anything anything else, but leading the dog on to Zayu. He will be going down from the distortion, but Take Fun has roamed up. Where does the ball need to be? Uses that on the command protect. Will be able to get in range onto Whirly B. Lands the distortion, lands the shockwave, but isn't close enough to land anything else.
Yeah, it wasn't quite enough there, and Zayu fell to that roam. Peppy.
Oh, comes in with the double distortion and the malice as well, hopping all around the stage.
Oh my goodness, this is suddenly blown wide open. And let's take a minute, let's dial it back, bring in a little bit of differences to the previous games, as Peppy is still getting dropped quite low. A difference here, out of just general builds on Lee Sin, Juggernaut enchantment rather than Warrior onto Zayu. Lee Sin's later or mid and late game troubles are always that you have to get the kick, your damage is not quite as relevant as it is in the early game. And Zayu is saying, I'm just going to be tanky late game and make sure I get a kick. I know we're going to have enough damage late game because we've got a Jax, we have an Orianna, and Graves burst damage as well to go on top of that. So Zayu is essentially saying, I'm just going to be as tanky as possible, and I'll let you guys deal with everything else.
It was making sure he can perform that role, getting that one pick and setting up those team fights for his team. Currently level 10, on his way to that level 11 mark, where that kick will become even stronger.
On the other hand, this is a difference to what we saw out of Elise last time. It was the Juggernaut on Elise in game 2. This time it's the Magus enchant. So for added damage, that's an interesting play out of Frederick. For that upgrade.
Yeah, Kuban, by the way, just used the teleport there in the top lane, but Zayu is looking to get the initiation down. Here comes Libic as well. Yet another hook onto Adri, but Rhino comes in with a huge knockup with the pulverize, but now the top lane, Whirly B heads into the action. Selva completely cut off from his team. Adri is the one to pick up that kill, and Reason Gaming have to get out of here. The crab comes in the way. Oh, there's the ultimate as well. The shockwave onto 2, drops them low, maybe deterring them from the chase. And still chasing after Take Fun, but the distance keeps him away.
Big shockwave, though, did a lot of damage on the exit of that fight. The Reason, they could look to follow up here. Zayu doesn't quite land the Q, though. This is a minute early for Dragon, so they cannot really engage on that. And Reason were a little bit lucky to get that amount of damage on the end. Otherwise, Giants would have been able to follow that up far more.
But Giants are closing in on this bottom lane. Zayu and Libic are cut off from the pack. It's just about one of them trying to get away from this, but they'll be focusing down onto Lee Sin first. Here comes the Lantern, but this is a lot of people for a wild goose chase, and they're still going after these two members while Kuban is taking your towers.
Kuban is still pushing up quite a lot in the top lane. Zayu and Libic is still going.
Yeah, cue the music, because they're just going right through the base. They will be slowed down slightly by that laser from the inhibitor turret. They will jump over the wall using that wall jump. Libic is still going, and they're regrouping to Take Fun and Kuban.
Man, Giants use so much time that they could have literally been doing anything else on the map with. They could have been warding, they could have been just controlling for the dragon, which is about to spawn. Oh!
Pepinero jumps forwards in the middle lane, will follow with Distortion as well, takes him down with the chains, and takes him out, and that is very important considering Dragon has just spawned.
Yeah, that's a big kill before Dragon starts off, and Giants should look to group for it right now. They're not actually doing it. They should have the timer on it, and they have enough wards around that they can at least secure further vision, but honestly, I'm surprised that they haven't proactively gone straight for this. Renekton doesn't have his teleport. That is a big factor here, and they don't want to take a fight where the numbers are not in their favor. So Reason kind of get gifted a situation where they aren't losing a dragon.
Well, Take Fun does get his blue buff, so that is a small consolation prize. But Dragon is alive, and Selva has respawned from base as well. But Whirly B is now pushing up the top lane, and we may see these two top lanes interact here as Kuban is heading from the backside and just walks back to his turret.
I don't think Kuban wants this fight yet. He does need that Trinity Force, because Renekton is a little too tanky right now with that Sunfire cape as well. Not really any chance of Renekton dying for quite a while yet, but I want to take a look bottom lane. Essence Reaver on Ezreal. That is an item that we very rarely see. It got buffed a couple of patches back, gave it more attack damage. And on this blue Ezreal, of course, it's going to give him more mana.
And it's also blue.
Yeah, and it's blue. That is quite a key factor here in the blue build Ezreal. Oh, but Pepinero over the wall. Meets a few more members of Reason that I think he would have liked to have met and backs away, but it was enough of a distraction.
for Giants to take up the Dragon top lane, though. This is the time where both the top lanes are trading, and Kuban apparently did want the trade, but Livic doesn't want any of LeBlanc. Takes that full burst combo, so Kuban does come out ahead in that 1v1. But now Reason Gaming, they're actually looking still to fight here, despite losing up that Dragon. Giants taking that one away. Here comes a chilling smite from Zayu. The hook goes in, but Ryder was right up in their grill. Pepper Nero takes up one. He takes down Zayu. Ryder was taking so much damage, still has the unbreakable will, and Reason Gaming still looking to maybe look for more. Lands the first auto. Here comes the smoke screen as well. Ryder comes in. Oh, not Celeber back to the team. Pepper Nero deletes him, but a huge shockwave onto free. Make that one of the clones from Pepper Nero, who's still chasing after Take Fun. That got messy real fast. Massive shockwave at the end of that fight, and Pepinero has so much damage as well that it is so difficult for anybody to stand in front of him. You saw Celeber get absolutely deleted, but again, let's take another look at this fight. Celeber is looking to get a kill, but he's actually a little indecisive, gets pulverized, and a great headbutt into the rest of the team. Pepinero with the cleanup, and did get pulled in, and just managed to survive there from the shockwave, but all the way back at the beginning, right before the fight even started, top lane, Whirlybee died to Kuban because Whirlybee tried to slice and dice out of Counter-Strike, but got stuck, got stunned, and Kuban capitalized. He tried to get away, but wasn't in time. And that's going to become a serious issue for them at some point, because he's kind of been on the back burner for the last 24 minutes, but with that kill, and now he's pretty close to finishing his Trinity Force as well, Giants have to start turning up the pressure, because yes, they are ahead in this game. Yes, the last team fight was kind of back and forth, but they did come out slightly ahead. The 8-5 currently have that extra turret, but Jax. Yeah, they're up against a little bit of a clock here. It's not as prevalent as usual because of the fact that you do have Pepinero at 6-1, and that is a good spot. Yeah. He's going to make Kuban feel that right now. He is. Here's the combo, and goodbye, Kuban. Yeah, that's why they're not up against too much of a clock, is because Pepinero is insanely fed in this series. But you still have to keep in mind that the later this goes, if Pepinero cannot burst people down, once you start getting Banshees, more magic resist, and Aegis to the Legion on the team as well, will really deal with that. Has been caught out here. Oh, full collapse coming in from the Giants. Will take him out immediately. 2 members go down, but Pepinero gets completely CC'd up. Fantastic pull in by Livic. They'll look to carry on with this fight, but Adri's come into the fight, in with the Arcane Ship. That blue build doing so much damage in the mid-game here. And the flash ill from Whirlybee as well. Picks up one, picks up the second. Adri comes in, a 4-for-1. Oh, Reason had the pick, and then they fall apart, engaging into an Alistair. And you saw Rydell completely just demolish that team fight in the backline, and this is critical damage here for Giants. Again, they find themselves in front of an uncontested inhibitor kill 3 games in a row. The inhibitor goes down at 26 minutes in, 5 towers to 2, and this is now a commanding lead by Giants. Now this is Reason Gaming having to do something huge, and they have to stall out. They have the Jax, and that's their game, but can they do that? It's a long game if they want to, and they have to stay in the upper bracket here for the LCS expansion tournament, because a win here would put Giants within touching range of that LCS spot. But honestly, Reason just have not had the vision control. They have not denied the vision out of Giants in any of the 3 games in this series. And Giants have just punished them. They punished the over-aggressiveness out of Reason when they get 1 pick. And it's plays out of Pepinero in this game that really have just ripped Reason's composition apart. There was a moment in Champions Select where Reason Gaming almost felt like they were just going to try and pull out all the stops, do all of their crazy tactics, and give everyone their perfect champions, like Zayu has his Lee Sin, but they didn't give Take Fun his assassin champions. They just gave him Orianna. Yeah, and it hasn't worked out all that badly for him personally, but I don't feel like he's had the effect on the game that he really should have done. And we know Take Fun, he likes his assassins, you mentioned it, and that is all about snowballing. Orianna is the patient game, and just in general, Reason's composition is a very patient composition. Finally, they got the Trinity Force onto Jax. That is a key item for him that'll allow him to be in another lane, but if he's in another lane and Giants are grouped as 5, there's nothing really you can do. There's a lot of poke coming out from Giants between LeBlanc and from Ezreal right now, and their engage is so strong as well. Yeah, Giants coming in here. They are sitting in this middle lane. Pepinero over the wall. The burst damage as well onto Zayu is huge. He'll be popping away with distortion once again. But you can see the inner turrets are basically just Giants free to take here as Rydell comes in, tries to get the CC onto Livic, but the two-shot barrage as well. The Cocoon comes in, Repel right on top of Livic, but he's now right in the middle of the team. Support for support, probably not the worthwhile trade. Zayu comes in with the King, doesn't help his team all that much, but Rydell was still taking damage from the turret. Whirly B looking to dive this one, and the turret will be falling as they go for the re-engage. Oh, huge shockwave onto 2, picks up 1, but it's a 4 for 2 overall. Make that a 4 for 3 as Take Fun comes in for another kill. Whirly B is still on the hunt.
Take Fun's gotta stay alive to do anything here.
Slice Dice will be flashing away, will be Take Fun back to his base, but it's only Whirly B and Rydell.
Yeah, they should be able to get some damage done, and I was gonna say maybe take the inhibitor, but they've spotted the respawn timers are far too low out of Reason Gaming, and Reason hold, but they lost a lot in that engage. They lost the inhibitor turret, and you can see exactly how much damage Giants can get done on the base here with just a couple of minutes. Dragon is back. Now, which dragon will this be? This would be the second dragon for Giants if they got this, so that makes it even more difficult to sit in front of turrets here. But this is all about Pepinero here. You can see Livic gets locked down. It's the first kill of the fight for Frederick, but Pepinero turns the damage on instantly. As soon as Celeber steps too far forward and they get the slow, there we go. There's the amount of damage coming out of Distortion. All it took was 1 step too far forward.
Yeah, he flattened both of them with that double Distortion, and will look to do the same onto Celeber. Ultimate from down from Adri. Will not be picking up the kill, but will be going on to Pepinero. Zayu also caught out here, trying to kick them away using his ultimate, but they're just trying to chase them down. They have so much mobility with Adri. Oh, the flash into the flash pulverize. Will be getting all the damage down, but Kuban trying to be the one-man army. Zayu is too low. Take Fun still offering the damage, gets the double kill, and they just have to split up. The roaches are scattered. Whirly B backs up, but Pepinero is just over the wall. You can see that. You can see the elixir there as Kuban jumps in, tries to pick up the kill. A 2 for 2 overall. 2
for 2 overall. Reason still want to chase it though. They've got Whirly B stuck, but at the same time, mid lane, the Nexus turret has already fallen. This is just Giants wasting time of Reason here, forcing them so that they can't recall.
Whirly B's just saying, come and get me, but they tried to go for the pincer, but Pepinero pushed away the mid laner of Take Fun. He actually turns around the damage. Kuban goes down to Whirly B in the 1-on-2, and they'll just start turning this away. The Hunters have become the hunted, trying to pick up their second kill. Call the Meat comes out, flash for the double. Take Fun, can he pick up more of this? Clockwork wind up for the enhanced auto attack, looking for the second here, goes it with a command protect and gets his own double kill.
Finally, Take Fun shows his effectiveness. This is the 3rd game in the making, and is this the point for Take Fun to finally take control? He's 7-1-2. You know he's got the damage. Inhibs are now up. This is the spot where Reason have to take control.
Oh, Livic, this is not the time you want to be warding. He will get away, but has to burn his flash for it. Rydell was looking to come in. Will use his pulverize as he's flayed away.
Reason have to take a moment and just center themselves and hold in their minds what they have to do to stay in this game. They need to try and establish vision control. They've got it of the lower jungle and Dragon right now, but they have to make sure that Kuban is a big enough threat in a lane, and then Giants don't just push his fight, because that is a very worrying situation to be in, and Reason is still up against it. Giants have done a good job now of taking down a lot of the base structures, so if they group again, it shouldn't be too bad for them, but they've got a lot of damage. There is so much on the side of Giants that Pepinero hopping over a wall is enough to blow one person up.
It's a mountain to climb for sure, but Reason Gaming, they have the potential to do it. 7-1-2 now. Take Fun, triple big items here with the Sorcerer's Boots as well. They are ready to just sit down in their base and get into their bunker and try and just weather the storm. But now the Dragon is being forced out by Giants, is dying incredibly quickly, and Reason Gaming, they're deciding not to contest.
Yeah, they're going to decide not to go for it, but this is a... I mean, how do you stop this?
Right.
Giants are already so aggressive right now. They've been getting the picks. Reason have to not get caught at all and somehow deal with 2 lanes, you would imagine, of Baroned up minions, and that is so much damage coming out from Ezreal.
Yeah, he is quite far ahead right now with that blue build. course, has that Essence Reaver you mentioned before, the Iceborne Gauntlet, and the Mirror Mana now.
Do Giants split themselves up, as the analysts have talked about? And I think this would be a very smart way to do it. Pepinero, nobody can actually deal with his mobility and damage right now. And he's going to sit in one lane with the Baron minions. The rest of the team is going to sit in the middle lane. Can Kuban do enough?
Oh, he tries. He flashes forwards, gets the stun down. The Duke comes in from behind from the distortion. Leap strike as well. Kuban tries to get this kill on this one-on-one, but Frederick comes in from the middle lane, but it doesn't matter because he takes him out one-on-one. Limit gets taken out. Slice and dice. This is going in for the kill. Wordy B is just being that brick wall that Reason Gaming cannot break, but the collateral damage will delete Pepinero off the map. It doesn't matter because Takeful is also away. 3-1.
Yeah, this is just going to be game here for Giants. Kuban goes so aggressive, he matches the mobility but doesn't quite have the damage. This is going to be Giants stamping their way into the winners bracket finals.
There is only one Nexus turret there, and there's the flash, the pulverize. Zayu is the only remaining member. Celeber goes down, the Nexus will be falling, and that is GG. It will be Giants being only one series away from the LCS.
And you have to think that not a lot of people were expecting that, and that is the story of Giants. Nobody is expecting them to be in the offline rounds. Nobody expects a 3-0. Everybody talked about a 3-1 potentially against Reason, but that is a big statement out of Giants. Those 3 games, they looked very strong in all of them.
The clean sweep there, Stress, incredibly strong, and you've got to feel like whoever's going to be challenging them, as we will be finding the answer to that question in the next best of 5 just after this, they'll be trembling in their boots after the 3-0 performance there.
They will indeed. That just looked very strong out of Giants in general, and Pepinero turned up again. The guy seems to turn up every single time he's on the Rift. He is always so difficult to deal with, but Giants in general looked very strong.
Well, after that series, we're going to throw it over to the analyst desk with Shox and the rest of the gang to break down that game and that